The name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back. Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Wham! Kazap! First try. Why so serious?
He's a fast killer.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
I'm freaking pumped. I've been drinking green tea all goddamn day.
I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this.
Hello, everybody. You are listening to the Good Day for a Movie podcast. We are brought to you by GD4GD, so head on over to GD4GD.com and buy some dope gear, because $10 of every sale gets donated to their nonprofit partner, which is currently the Matthews House. They're a nonprofit that empowers youth and families by building trusting relationships. Their Strengthening Families program takes a holistic approach in helping at-risk families achieve stability. This helps disrupt the cycles of poverty and abuse. So, like I said, head on over to GD4GD.com and buy some awesome gear. I'm Jacob, and alongside me, as always, Tate.
What's up?
And our anonymous third co-host. How we doing?
I'm freaking pumped. It's like I've been drinking green tea all goddamn day. I got a lot of energy today.
I can tell.
I had a coffee.
A coffee?
Yeah.
I remember when I got jived off of a coffee.
Yeah, one coffee doesn't do that much to me.
I'm like shaking.
I'm jealous.
3 coffees don't do that much
Crazy
to me.
person.
They like make me conscious.
Should we just get into this thing?
Might as well. It's Tate's pick, so let's get this over with.
Oh yeah, my pick. Let's go. I got a surprise for you guys this time. We're going to do something completely new. And you know what that means?
No.
It means I got a documentary for us.
Interesting.
Yep.
He would.
We talked about it.
We did.
It's an option.
It was in my head for my last pick. It's one we can do. Yeah.
And I've been wanting to. And since no one has yet, thought I might as well pull the trigger. And also because I've been getting told by a lot of people recently, family and friends and stuff, that there's one out there right now on Netflix that is a must watch. And I've heard this from several different people, and they all said, like, have you seen this movie or heard this documentary? And when I say no, they're like, oh my gosh, you have to see it. It's incredible. So I got some high hopes going into it. But it's called My Octopus Teacher. So I don't know really anything about it other than came out in 2020, so it's very new. Here's the synopsis. After years of swimming every day in the freezing ocean at the tip of Africa, Craig Foster meets an unlikely teacher, a young octopus who displays remarkable curiosity. Visiting her den and tracking her movements for months on end, he eventually wins the animal's trust, and they develop a never-before-seen bond between the human and wild animal. So
is this like Tarzan meets Planet Earth?
Yeah, but I think I assume that what the really cool part about it is that, like, because it says that, like, the cast is just him. So I imagine that there's, like, even nobody else. I think it's just going to be a bunch of really cool shots of underwater animals and whoa, that's a weird shot.
Very weird shot.
You just pulled a random picture from it.
He looks like an octopus.
Yeah, he looks like an octopus a little. But I think it'll just be kind of like a heartwarming, it sounds like, really cool experience. Because, I mean, I think I've heard that octopuses are pretty...
Octopi.
It is octopi.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke.
No, the James Bond movie is called Octopussy.
Yeah, that's what I almost said. But I think it's just going to be a cool...
In New Zealand, they would pronounce it octopi, which is pretty funny.
God. But, yeah, I think it's just going to be a pretty heartfelt, nice documentary. And, yeah.
All right. I guess we'll see you on the other side.
It's on Netflix, by the way, and it's an hour and a half. So
now we'll see you on the other side.
I remember the day when it all started, seeing this really strange thing. A lot of people say an octopus is like an alien. But the strange thing is, as you get closer to them, you realize that we're very similar in a lot of ways. There's a hard thing to explain, but sometimes you just get a feeling and you know there's something to this creature that's very unusual. There's something to learn here. I had to have a radical change in my life. And the only way I knew to do it was to be in this ocean with her. And then I had this crazy idea. What happens if I just went every day? But you realize that there's a line that can't be crossed. You start thinking about your own vulnerability, worried about your family or child. I hadn't been a person that was overly sentimental towards animals before. I realized I was changing. My relationship with people, with humans, was changing. What she taught me was to feel that you're part of this place, not a visitor. That's a huge difference.
First thought, are octopi, see my use there? Are octopi the craziest creatures ever?
Aliens.
They kind of are.
My first thought, Jacob's a lobster.
I'm an otter.
Jacob swims like a lobster, probably in my head. That's how I imagine
At least
it.
I know how to swim. You just sink to the bottom.
Wow. All right, guys, initial thoughts. What'd you think?
I fucking love otters.
This is going to be kind of a weird one because
This is a movie about octopi.
I know, but there's an otter at the very end. They're so dope.
You walk away from this movie about a crazy octopus animal, and you're like, otters are dope.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, I don't like the suction cup thingies on their.
I'm
They're
not a
fingers.
big fan
Yeah.
either. Kind of crazy. But it is
They're
crazy that they're each like a
crazy
finger,
animals.
though.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that about?
I mean, there's a lot that, like, I mean, obviously going into this, didn't know anything about octopi. I'm going to be saying that a lot now. But I feel like I learned a little bit, which is good.
You're going to make me ink.
They have some crazy little bodies with the amount of, like, how it would, like, form the little horns on its head or, like, sink down and, like, or, yeah, just how, like, mobile it is and how it can change colors so quickly. It was very crazy to watch. I think like you see a little bit of that kind of stuff in whatever those are called, Blue Planet and what's the other one?
Planet Earth.
But this one was just full hour and a half of it, which was cool. Kind of a weird movie review because there's not really like characters and like a storyline and like all these things, but visually it had some cool shots.
Yeah, so how, because that's the octopus that he was like chilling with. How did he just have a camera on him? Like,
yeah, I assume that he was the only
one of those tourist cameras, like the iPhone stick things.
Yeah. So what I'm assuming.
Well, they showed it when the octopus first like touches the camera. Like that's what I think he was shooting.
But there are like so many scenes of him with the octopus.
Yeah, I think
him
it's
diving
probably
and stuff. So it's probably a mix.
Yeah, it's probably a mix. And then like the kind of dirty, ugly truth about documentaries is that a lot of it is not taking place in real time. Like him walking around, him getting in the ocean.
Yeah.
Any shot you see of him walking or even like coming up for air isn't
100% of anything of the octopus he had taken during that time, and probably 95% of everything else.
Yeah, like all the B-roll stuff is completely
absolutely
from the studio.
Yep, and I did see that when he like first like when this whole year takes place of him interacting with this octopus, it was in 2010. So it did take many years after that for them to kind of put this all together, and so that was probably a lot of them getting these other shots. Especially the ones with like him and his kid and
yeah, and I mean he probably
stuff.
had like a shit ton of like footage, like
he
probably a full year.
He probably had so much footage.
Yeah, if you're going every day, that's crazy.
Probably like 5 to 6 hours.
Well, let's get into that real quick because this guy is crazy. When like, and I made that note when they were talking about the cold water, and God knows like what temperature 8 degrees Celsius is. I have no idea. But how he was just going in the water and he was
below
like,
freezing.
That's
all you need. Wait,
No, it's not.
It's not. Below zero is freezing.
yeah, 0 degrees Celsius.
It was at
0
8 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, 0 degrees Celsius.
Is
46
freezing.
degrees.
What?
Yeah, 0 degrees Celsius is freezing.
Yeah, he said minus 8 degrees.
No, he said 8 degrees.
No, he said minus 8 degrees.
No.
Did he say 8 or 9?
Yeah,
He
it
said
was like
8 or 9.
Well, that would make sense because then it would be ice.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like 40 to like 50 degree water. I'm assuming.
And like just how he was like, yeah, it was very cold, but your body gets used to it and you kind of miss it.
And you crave the cold
I
after
was like,
you're a psychopath.
Whoa. I do think it is cool. I made a note that, I mean, you always hear about these kind of things of humans and like what they're capable of, like kind of what the body is capable of, and then mixed with like what, like if you just train your mind to kind of like adapt to it, then like what the body is actually capable of. Because he said that he would just go out there without a wetsuit. He'd just which I also thought was crazy that he would just hold his breath every single time. I still have a question of how long he's holding his breath every time, but I think it's really cool that he basically trained his body to just get better at all of this kind of stuff over the course of a year, and that he was basically a fish.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most shocking thing to me about this whole thing was none of the fish around him like cared that he was there. You're just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, how is the shark just okay with going after this octopus with him just like 5 feet away?
Yeah.
That was
all of those
wild to me.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I get like just normal everyday fish and how like schools of fish they're fine with it, but yeah, it was mostly the sharks. How does he know? Maybe he does know that they're just not going to harm him, but I wouldn't know that. And how he would just go into these like kind of crevices and like there's that one part where he like touched the sand because he thought there was something there and it ended up being a crab, and I was like, you're a kind of a crazy man.
Not a well-adjusted human being.
Well, he's well-adjusted to that
Yes,
ecosystem.
I could not be more opposite from this man. This movie confirmed to me that I hate the ocean.
The ocean is one of the scariest things.
That is the scary. I am not an ocean person at all. And this absolutely confirmed it for me, no matter how cool an octopus is.
I'm a beach guy, but I don't know if I'm an ocean guy.
I'm a mountain man pilgrim.
You're so dumb.
Wow, speaking of when the shark had the octopus, that first scene, which kind of crazy, I was doing those like little alligator rolls, but I was like,
Oh, take her easy there, Pilgrim.
I was like, geez, he's up on the octopus.
Yeah, and he was saying he was bleeding, but did they just what? The bleed clear?
I don't understand
White?
that,
What?
but it was really cool though.
It looked like a quick. It looked like a stuffed animal.
Yeah, the white stuff coming
fray.
out.
Yeah, crazy.
Was very weird. I am convinced that these octopuses might be aliens.
I was too
just
until
insane.
we learned that they only live for a year.
Yeah, and I
no way they're aliens if they only live for a year.
Aliens can live longer than a year.
That's exactly why I don't think they are.
Silly octopi.
All right, that's convincing. But no, I do think it was really cool that it could like regrow its little tentacle. That was a crazy little. I did not see that coming.
Me either. Yeah, the thing that I was on my phone a lot about was how they change color.
Yep. Did you find anything?
Yeah, so it's very crazy. So they have these cells that have all the pigments in them. So their body is made of these cells that have red, yellow, and blue pigments. And when they flex, when their muscles tense up, the pigments react. And so, are you guys familiar with how like plants are green and stuff?
Not really,
because that's the way they are.
No, so the light is like the rainbow spectrum, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Plants reflect the color of the temperature of the ray that they're absorbing. So the
temperature of the ray.
Yeah, so from whatever it is, yellow, orange, red, purple, blue, green, or whatever. They all have different temperatures. So within a ray of light, there's a range of temperatures. And so like the green is just the reflection of the plant absorbing that temperature of the ray. And that's the, anywho.
Huh.
So quick thing, That's why the sun's actually green. It's weird because it looks like white or orange or red to us, but we have a blue-green sun.
Sounds like a fact.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I know.
What do you mean it's actually green? Because when I look up in the fucking sky, it's yellow. You can't just say it's green and
Jacob, we're going to need to
fucking gaslighting son of a bitch.
I think tomorrow we're going to need to go stare at the sun for a little bit.
Yeah. What do you mean it's actually green?
I am
it's not
an astrophysicist. I'm not a scientist, but it is actually like blue-green. Yes. Crazy stuff. Anywho,
continue back to the octopus.
Yeah, the thing I couldn't get is, so the octopus reflects when it tenses up and these cells release the pigments, it can reflect the same color as the environment around it. So it's like the same kind of thing. It can absorb the light, the temperature of light as the things around it. And so that's how, like, when it covers across different rock forms, it is matching the pigments based on like light reflection from, crazy stuff.
Wow.
That is so over my head. I'm just gonna nod and act like I know what you're.
I missed like 5 minutes of the movie because I was reading about it. But
I'm not very happy with you for trying to gaslight me and tell me the sun is actually blue-green. We saw sex.
On another note,
they did not have that in the warning. Like the PG-13.
This has that was a
they should
sex
throw that
scene
out
in
there.
here.
That came up quick, and she didn't even know the guy.
I know. There's like one day not there, and then the next day it's just, he's like, it's super windy out. Looks like a
you know what bad weather does.
New fella rolled in.
Yeah, and then a little bit. I don't even know how much longer later. 500,000 babies. They said.
Yeah,
that's
a lot of babies.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have one baby, but that seems like a lot of babies.
It's a lot of babies. It's a lot of tiny octopuses.
Which I guess going into one thing that I did like about the film was I wasn't sure. I thought it was going to be very like heartfelt, get you like tug at your heartstrings before going into it. Halfway through it, I was like, this isn't really getting me too emotionally. But I think at the very end, when also, I thought it was crazy that they showed the shark just taking the dead body away. Like, was this guy out here 24/7 and caught every single thing on film? Very crazy. But
I have a feeling
that was just octopus.
No.
Oh.
I have a feeling he was like always out there. He was out there like throughout the whole day, but he probably didn't film the entire day, unless he's just got. I guess he could just have a massive storage unit.
Yeah, but I just think it's crazy that he like caught so much of this octopus's life.
It is crazy the amount of time he invested in that octopus.
Yeah, like emphasis on the crazy.
You could
emphasis on the crazy.
You could see it in him, like how invested he was, and he said he was like it became an obsession.
Yeah, but crazy.
Yeah,
like
I mean, even going out there at night, like talk about deep fears. I would never swim in the ocean at night looking for things.
You couldn't pay me any amount of money to do that.
Yeah, that was
any amount of money.
Like I'm scared of it.
You could pay me like any amount of money to do that.
No,
$5.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
No wetsuit.
I mean, it would probably take me some getting used to, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but anywho, I thought that in the end, I did kind of feel like more of a connection. I think, it did feel more of like an emotional connection to his relationship with the octopus, which I didn't think I was going to halfway through, but. Yeah, I think they got that. Especially, I thought it was cool at the end when they had the baby octopus in their fingers. That was honestly maybe the crazier parts. And I think you got to believe that. I mean, if you're him, you just whether it is or isn't her like actual kid, you got to believe that it is. But so I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I think the most emotional, like I think the only emotional part for me was like when the thing actually got attacked, and I was like, oh shit, this thing's gonna die. This is. Almost been
when
an hour
it lost
and a half already.
When it lost a tentacle, I felt bad for it.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, damn, that's like tough. But like at the end when it like actually died, I wasn't that like emotionally invested in that. I mean, it was kind of it was weird with the fish, watching the fish eat it. Yeah. I was like, this is a little kind of morbid and like
yeah, it was a little weird to watch that.
Kind of disgusting, but
it was funny that I felt bad for the octopus, which, why didn't he give it a name? I kind of want to name this octopus.
What would you name it?
Shelly. I don't know. First thing came to my head. But I thought it was funny that I cared for Shelly when she lost an arm. But then when she was just hunting crabs and lobsters and she didn't get it, I was like, damn it. You got the next one.
You're naming it Shelly?
I don't know. I'm just
What would you name it?
Octavia.
Oh.
That just came to me.
Stealing it from 100, but hey, that's all right.
What a silly show.
But it was funny how I had no emotion for these other crabs and lobsters getting owned. But
I did have that thought. I'm like, well, like, what if you would have like made this connection with one of those stupid crabs?
yeah, and then when the crab just gets smothered by an octopus, I would have been like, oh.
I had no idea how crabs swam, but this was a shocking way.
That's a funny
I
way
had
to
no
put it.
idea.
They don't really swim too. They just kind of like
No, but like when it like actually like did like swim away, just all of its little hands and arms just
Yeah, it was like crawling through the water.
Yeah.
That
well,
did
and I
not
liked
make
when it
much
was like
sense.
falling through the
Creepy.
water after it ran away.
Yeah,
and
it
then
was like
hit the ocean floor,
skydiving.
and then
It was
like,
ocean diving.
and the lobster was also a very funny swimmer.
I liked
That was hilarious.
I
It
liked
was
how
like-
the Octavio could not catch the lobster.
lobster.
Just was so close, and the lobster was like, "Huh?"
And they would just like that's like us swimming like with only our chin.
Yeah,
That's what it looked like.
moved pretty good.
Yeah, it reminds me of when I would walk my dog. He would chase crawdads, and that's exactly how they would swim away from him. They just go like do a little butt flap and just.
And yet they are less
They were
weird.
like bullets. Just pshh, yeah, gone. Crazy.
I did also just talking about other things. I feel like that's the main thing that we're doing is just talking about what was kind of cool and what was crazy, but was how it would grab all of the shells and just basically build a little armor around itself. And and it looked like for a second I was like, oh damn, is the shark not going to be able to access it? And then the shark definitely did get her, but she went pretty clutch jumping on his back.
Yeah, that was also a very funny moment. He just like comes back down and he's just like perched on the back, and you're like, wait, what?
And the shark was kind of like, what the fuck?
And then like I was confused by when the shark like swam away and it like pushed off. I'm like, okay, well, shark, like now go get it.
Yeah.
He's just like, damn it outsmart me. You win.
Yeah, you win this round.
The most shocking fact I think in the world for me, how much of the ocean do you think is unexplored? Do you know this?
Oh, it's like
I feel like I've
80%.
heard it like 90%.
Fuck you. It is 80%.
80?
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
the ocean is kind of like space. Like
it is. Like I feel like we know more about space than we do about the ocean.
I think
That's
that actually is
maybe
pretty
fair.
true. No, I think it is genuinely true because I think the deepest a human's ever been is like a mile. That might even be pushing it into the ocean because the pressure can build up so high. But we've sent like whatever you call them, probes, drones, or something
We've
down
sent
there.
ships down there.
Yeah, but there weren't actually people in it.
I know.
But even then, they had a limit to how deep they can go. And what's that giant canyon in the? It's like so deep.
Mariana's Trench.
Yeah, Mariana Trench.
They went pretty deep in The Core, the 2003 movie. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It sounds horrible.
But yeah, the ocean is so mysterious to me, so scary. Yeah.
I think we only have like half of the ocean floor mapped out even. Like we don't even have.
I gave The Core a 9 out of 100.
Oof, that's a big oof.
Yeah. But yeah, the ocean, I don't like thinking about the ocean, just like I don't like thinking about how the sun isn't actually yellow.
I think I would rather go into space than go into like the deep ocean.
Nah.
No, definitely not. I would
think
go
it'd be
into
like-
neither.
Okay, so yes, I'd rather go into space than the deep ocean, but not like scary wise.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
just like the amount of coolness.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, yeah, I'm an astronaut, people are like, holy shit, you're like a sex god. But if you're like, I'm a deep ocean diver, they're like, oh,
marine
okay.
biologist.
Like,
yeah.
doesn't everybody go to school for marine biology? Like at first, you're like, yeah.
Sex god. I'm a golden god.
I'm a golden god. All right, last little tidbit I have on it is because I was wondering what he was gonna learn because he was my octopus teacher. So I was like, oh, I wonder what things he's gonna learn from it. I thought he was gonna, I don't know, maybe like learn tricks or something. I don't know. I thought he was gonna learn more, but I do think in the end it was a cool message of kind of a reminder of how like disconnected we are to like the actual elements of nature. And I think like they hit on it in the beginning with the tribe or whatever that would track animals, and he was like, they are so in tune with nature that they can see things in like their tracks or see things in nature that no one else would ever pick up on. And that's just because they live in it every day. And so I do think that is kind of cool, the whole idea of just connecting with nature. And I thought so. It was a cool reminder, but I'm not sure it was not like not bringing anything brand new to the table. Like I didn't learn a lot of new information other than the pigment stuff, but yeah, it was a good reminder.
And the sun's not yellow. I learned that this podcast. I don't like that. I'm not believing you. I don't believe you. I just don't.
I was nervous that it was going to be some like English class lesson, like the way and he kind of like was hinting at it too. And he was like, the way the octopus lost its arm and then was regrowing its arm was like me losing my sense of self and then getting myself back. I was like, okay, chill, dude. Like not the same thing.
Yeah, and like
I was nervous. Well, but
I think that was a cool little like. I mean, again, a reminder to like people. Like people can't lose their arms and regrow them back, but there's other things like mentally and psychology that we can do to bounce back, or at least
it was getting too English classy, like reading it. But then he ended it. I think the way he put it was the best lesson that he could have pulled from it. That was not like cheesy or like, come on, dude. It was actually like, okay, that's pretty profound. And to have that experience with an animal is very profound.
Especially that like that animal that nobody, because I mean people, and I think like you see it, people. That's why people have dogs so much, and like because you can connect with an animal really well. And there's something really cool about connecting with an animal. Like you've seen the videos of people with bears and like all sorts of different animals, but I've never seen one with anything like a sea animal like that. I don't think sea creature. So that was cool. All right, which goes into my question that I got for this film to wrap it up. If there was one animal that you could have a similar experience that this guy did with, so you spend like a year with this animal, you really get to know it, you like live in its like world kind of, basically everything that he just did with his octopus, but you get to know it, get to basically be friends with it. What animal would it be? And it's not going to hurt you.
Can I pick like a bird?
Will it protect me?
Does that mean that I get to fly if I pick a bird?
Will it protect me?
Oh, gosh. You guys are asking new questions. No, you can't fly. Oh, man. Birdman is tough.
But like he can swim.
Yeah. All right.
To like get the same experience as like a bird.
For a year. Yeah, you can fly. What? And then,
That's
yes,
crazy. You can't fly.
You're not going to be protected. You just get to
he can swim because he can actually swim.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to have this experience with a bird.
You wouldn't be able to have it with a bird.
Then eliminate birds.
Okay.
I don't want to pick a bird. I'm just wondering.
Gosh. No, it doesn't.
That was worth it just to put him through that mind.
Yeah, gosh.
That was good.
Basically, okay, I'll just dumb down the question. Not an experience that this guy had. If you can pick one animal to be your best friend, and yes, it will protect you, because I've asked people this question before, and I like getting people's answers. But yeah, it's basically like having a dog, that relationship that you have with a dog, having it with an animal. What animal would it be?
Does this animal die at
Yes.
the end of its life? Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's too painful.
Don't think about that. Oh my gosh.
I'm picking an otter. Otters are just so dope.
All right.
What animals do I
Because I'm not going to pick a dog. I already have a dog.
I was going to say, I like my dog. Can I just pick my dog?
No, I guess like it's the
like a
fun just
wolf would
thought
be cool.
process.
Like
Yeah,
a wolf would be really cool. I don't think I want like a bear.
my answer is a moose. Because I think it'd
Moose?
be cool. Yeah, I think it'd be cool to be able to like, you wouldn't have to have a car then. You could just ride your moose everywhere. And it would protect you. It'd be dope. Also, just a moose is so cool.
Wolf was the first one that came to my mind. Wolf would be pretty sick.
That's basically a dog.
See, I feel like you have to like how are we like? Is our lives changing, or is it just like another pet? Because like if we're like going off on like grand adventures and like are living in like a fantasy world,
No. Just your everyday
my
life.
otter pick looks silly. But if we're talking about just like everyday life, having an otter would be so dope.
Let's say it's everyday life where you don't have to like go to your 9-to-5 job or anything. Like you just get to live wherever you want, do whatever you want with your animal. Just.
So I'm gonna stick with the otter, and I don't want this to come off as like I'm not a ferret person, but like an otter would be like I want this otter to be like
It's
almost
a water ferret,
anthropomorphic, where it's like almost pretty much human.
That was a big word.
Yeah, I think I'm still thinking about that word.
You don't know what that word?
Mm-mm.
Anthropomorphic. It's what like Disney, like Robin Hood, like Disney's Robin Hood or like Zootopia. They anthropomorphize animals to like act like humans.
So, okay.
Yeah.
I would say that the animal has to be the animal. Like as smart as the animal is, it could be smart. Like I mean, if you choose a chicken, it's not like you're gonna have like a genius chicken. You're just gonna have a normal old chicken. But let's say that it's as smart as like a dog is, so you can kind of train it. But it's not gonna be like human level.
Yeah, like
I have no idea. Panda bear?
But yeah, you can kind of train it.
Panda bear. That's my answer.
Panda bear. You are a panda bear.
Oh shit! Damn it! I didn't even mean to do that.
And
so here's what I'm envisioning with the otter. Sitting on my couch or chair, and I've got like pistachios, and he's like cracking the pistachios for me and like hands me one and he eats one.
Why on earth are you pronouncing pistachios that way?
How dope would that be?
Wow, that's very funny. Right? You just go, I think go with otter, and then your first like benefit of having an otter is to open your pistachios.
In his defense, the first thought I had about a panda bear was just chewing on bamboo with a panda.
What the? All right, this is getting to be the weirdest episode we've ever done.
Well, what about you?
A moose. I don't know. I just want to ride my moose around and tell people what to do.
So, like, does your moose just have to like stay outside?
Does a moose grant you authority?
Yeah.
No.
If I tell you to drop and give me 20 and I got a moose with me, you're going to drop and give me 20.
You can't even get to me because I'm in Asia with my panda bear.
All right, that's fair. I don't know. I think a moose would just be dope.
He's probably living in Wuhan.
I would want to be a Jeremiah Johnson. I just go live in the mountains with my moose.
I wonder if I could survive off bamboo. Probably not.
No. What do you mean? What kind of question is that?
Should we
Folks,
get
this
scores?
is the person that is saying that the sun is blue and green and thinks he can live off of bamboo.
Yeah, you're being real weird.
I'm becoming anthropomorphic.
Oh,
no, you already are.
Wow.
All right, let's get into some scores.
Okay, from the aggregators, IMDb 8.3 out of 10, Rotten Tomatoes 100%.
Wow. You're telling me not a single person disliked this film?
100% from Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep.
Is crazy.
It's new. It's a new movie.
Documentaries usually get really high percentages on Rotten Tomatoes.
And it looks like on Metacritic, it's an 87.
Holy schnook.
I feel like documentaries always usually get pretty high scores. People like them.
Yeah, especially these like artsy documentaries.
Yeah. Basic bitches would love this shit.
Which is why I'm assuming we're going to hear like a 95 from Tate.
Yeah.
Oh, take her easy there, Pilgrim.
I think IMDb is pretty on it. I think I give an 82 out of 100. I think it is mostly incredibly visually appealing. And it's so crazy to see like a forest on the ocean floor. So in the sense that it was very similar to Planet Earth, it scored pretty high, but it was really slow for the first half. That would be my only complaint.
I actually did see that. I was reading up on it, that a lot of his shots were actually used in the most recent Blue Planet. So I think it was the most recent one, but Blue Planet 2, they used a lot of his shots. So
they were incredibly well done.
Yeah. And yep.
So I'm not going to go quite as high. I'm going to give this one a 77. I'm just not the biggest nature documentary guy. I don't know. I mean, it's fascinating and whatnot, but kind of boring. Like, I would never watch this by myself. Like, ever.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have.
And I love documentaries. Like, I love documentaries, but I don't know. Nature documentaries and, like, serial killer documentaries just aren't my bag. I just don't really care about them. They can be fascinating and they can be cool, but just not my favorite. So 77, really well done, beautiful, fascinating story, but just not my bag.
I'm right in between you guys. I'm at an 80. I think I am a huge fan of documentaries, and I'm a huge fan of actually all those other nature ones too. Like I love Planet Earth, Blue Planet ones. But I think that and this is a really well done one. It was pretty good. But I think I'm happy with an 80 out of 100 because I think it was pretty darn good. But I would probably I'd never watch it really again. But I'm glad that I did watch it. So yeah, I liked it.
I'm blown away that I'm the highest score between three of us. That is, I think Tate took to heart.
Who's the basic bitch now?
Yeah,
I think that's the second time that's ever happened.
No, I actually had my score written down.
I had mine written down too.
I didn't.
I actually raised mine 2 points.
I thought about dropping mine, but
I think I was gonna say 80, and then I heard IMDb's score, and I was like, "That's pretty accurate, actually." I think that's how I'm vibing.
So that's going to be an average score of 79.6, so 80. So not bad, not a bad average score.
Hit the 8.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for today. If you have so rude. All right, folks, that's going to do it for today. If you have thoughts or questions, you can shoot us an email at gd4ampodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at gd4gd.movies. We're also on Twitter at gd4gd_movies. We would love for you to leave us a 5-star review on whatever platform you listen on, especially Apple Podcasts. Just make sure they're all 5 stars. We will... Oh, man, how did I forget?
I was waiting for the pause. And if you don't, me and my moose are coming after you.
We'll catch you next week at the movies.
When you come to the end of the line with a buddy who is more than a brother and a little less than a wife, getting blind drunk together is really the only way to say farewell.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.